Okay, I'm here with head football coach Ryan Brady. Coach, just recapping a little bit from last week. Big win over Northern Michigan, 62-17 on Senior Day. We had some standout performance. We'll start with our defense having 6 takeaways in the game. That included linebacker Micah Kretzinger breaking the school record with 4 interceptions. And within those interceptions, he also got his 3rd pick 6 of the season. So maybe kind of start there for the defensive performance last week.
Yeah, outstanding job by the defense overall. We've really been playing good defensive football here over the course of the last month, and obviously Mike is a big part of that. And he had a huge game, and right now he's just he's finding the ball, and he's doing a great job, and he's got great ball skills, and he's a guy that can make those big plays, and that's the expectation from our team, is that he's going to be that guy that can do it. But just outstanding production from him and from the rest of the defense, and that really gave us the momentum in the game last week. And then offensively, we capitalized on those turnovers as well and put up a big number. So overall, it was a great team win.
Yeah, and then flipping over to the offensive side of the ball, another individual that played pretty well. Derek Hinton Jr. had his 2nd straight game of over 100 yards receiving, so he did it against Davenport in the tough loss on the road, and then came back at home and had another 100-yard receiving performance. So offensively, again, on that side of the ball, really good individual performance. And then the offense in general, pretty balanced last week, 247 passing yards and 211 rushing yards, so pretty balanced. Is that something as a coaching staff you guys try to stress, is to be balanced offensively?
Yeah, that's always the goal. We want to be balanced, and in a perfect world, we want to rush for 200 and throw for 250, and get your 450 to 500 yards of total offense. And so, we've been finding our stride here over the course of the last 3 to 4 weeks offensively, and so it's been good to see. And Derek's been a big part of that, and he's a great player for us. He's a senior, he's a captain, and when he's making big plays, that just really gives us the spark. And so, our quarterbacks have did a good job of really identifying him, and we've moved him around a little bit in some different places to try to maximize his opportunities. And I think we did a good job overall of getting him involved and getting him going, and it's been great, and we need that to continue this weekend.
Yeah, speaking on this weekend, kind of flipping to the Michigan Tech side, just looking at kind of the recent matchups between these two teams. SVSU has won the last 2 meetings for the last 5, but in that stretch, the average margin of victory is only 10.8 points, so about 2 scores per game. So relatively close games against this team. I know we played them twice last year, beat them by 3 scores the first game, but then they gave us a game in the second game, and then we only beat them by 5. So previewing this matchup with them, I also have a note here. They have not beaten us at home since 2017, so we've had success there, but obviously this is a road game. So talk a little bit about that road trip going up to Houghton and playing this team who tends to play us pretty tough.
Yeah, they always play us tough, and tough is a good word to describe Michigan Tech. Tough and disciplined. They do a nice job. Their staff does a nice job, and it's going to be a challenge for us. 10.8 points. It feels like about one point a game. That's just what you get when you play Michigan Tech. So we're expecting this to be a battle. They always play great at home. So I always tell my team, when you cross the bridge, you're down 10, and that don't matter if you're going to Marquette or you're going to Houghton. So I always enjoy this trip. We're leaving Thursday evening, and so this is a 2-day trip, and we like to break it up. So there's a lot of time spent with our players and with the team, and that's what makes this trip exciting is all the time you get to do with the kids, and so I'm looking forward to this. We just finished a great practice. We've had a great week of practice, and we're expecting to go up there and play our best and finish this thing off the right way.
Yeah, statistically, one of the big matchups that I saw just in looking through my research is Michigan Tech right now is ranked 3rd in the GLIAC in passing yards per game. Our defense, on the flip side, is the 3rd best passing defense in the league statistically when you consider passing yards per game. Seems to be a really big matchup. What have you seen from that secondary unit today that you're pretty confident that key matchup there we can win.
Yeah, Michigan Tech is throwing the ball really well this year, but I would say they've kind of changed their philosophy a little bit, where they're spreading things out a little bit more and going a little bit more 4 wide receiver sets, and they're making an emphasis to spread people out and throw the football. Where in years past they've been a lot of 2 tight end sets, 2 tight ends, 1 running back, different personnel groupings where they were more trying to control line of scrimmage on the football. So they've kind of changed philosophies, and so but their quarterback, who's from Saginaw County, is doing a nice job, Alex DeVries, and they have a couple of really nice receivers that are big play guys, and they have good scheme, and so I know Coach will have them ready to go. And but I think just over the course of the last month from us, we've really, I think, matured, and I've seen a lot of growth from our young secondary. I don't know how many people really realize how many redshirt freshmen, and redshirt sophomores that we have out there in the field. Like we're a young team, and so we've learned some hard lessons along the way. But I think our secondary has really come along. Guys like Christian Ellison and Jacoby Sanders have really did a nice job. Dante Barthol's made a great transition, and he's really did an outstanding job, been very consistent over the course of this whole season. And then you got Mikey Woolridge as our senior leader back there, directing traffic. Eli Gordon's just in his 2nd season, really his 1st season as a full-time starter. So, we're young on the back end. The strength of our defense is in our linebacking core, and so our linebackers have been outstanding, and then our defensive line has just been very consistent this year. We did a great job stopping the run, and with guys like redshirt freshman Adam Ledukes did a good job of giving us that pass rush that we've been looking for. I think he's almost up to 8 or 8.5 sacks now. So we're hitting our stride on the defensive side of the ball, and it's going to be a test. It's going to be a throw game. They're going to throw it. They're going to challenge us, and so we've got to be able to get after the quarterback, and we've got to be able to do a great job covering and make plays when the ball's in the air.
And you mentioned the defensive secondary and the linebacking core that has been the backbone of this defense. But another stat I even forgot to mention, but I had it written down here, is we're 3rd in the GLIAC right now in interceptions. So our defense is also pretty opportunistic with causing turnovers and takeaways. Like we already mentioned Kretzinger earlier with his 4 interceptions, but he also forced a fumble last week, and he's been doing that pretty consistently this year as well. Had a sack fumble on a 4th down against Ferris State. So he gets after that and causes takeaways. And takeaways are always a key in a game. But yeah, that defense being opportunistic is another thing. Maybe you can't always count on it, but you want them to continue that go after the ball kind of mentality.
It's just been a staple of Dan McEwen's defense. Coach McEwen and the defensive staff do an outstanding job. And since Coach McEwen's taken over this defense, that's been just like part of who we are. Is we're great at taking the football away. We're great at getting interceptions, fumble recoveries, and so I didn't know that statistic. So it's good to know that we've climbed back into it. So early on it was with the young secondary. It was like, wow, we haven't got our hands on as many balls as maybe we have in years past. With guys like Nick Whiteside and Noah Suber and Richie Bowens and. So we've had some unbelievable guys in the back end who did a great job, and so we've had to pass the torch to this new young generation of guys we've recruited here, and I'm really excited about them. DJ Volz is another guy who's had a really good redshirt freshman season. We expect big things in the future, and so, but yeah, it's going to be a big key to the game. We need to create some takeaways this weekend for sure. We've got to be able to establish the line of scrimmage, and we've got to be able to run the football. And so that will be an important aspect of this game, is us running the ball, protecting the ball, and then we just need to finish drives. I think we've improved here over the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks as we've cut down on our penalties on the offensive side of the ball, and we've been more consistent. And then as a result of that, we've seen increased production. And so that just needs to continue for us to be successful on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.